Howdy, welcome to the presentation from the Mays Center for International Business Studies. My name is Natsuki Hara. I'm the Assistant Program Director, and I have two of our student ambassadors here with me today, so I'll let them introduce themselves.
Hi, my name is Sophia Samuelson. I am a senior accounting major from Houston, Texas, and I also got a double degree in Spanish. And from my international experience, I spent a semester abroad in Buenos Aires, Argentina.
Howdy, my name is Macy Miller, and I'm also a senior accounting major from Southlake, Texas. And for my international experience, I have done the 2-week Belgium trip, 5 weeks in France, and then went to Panama with Global Business Brigades this past January.
Perfect. Thank you, Sophia and Macy. So a little bit about SIBS. Our goal is to send as many Mays business students abroad as we can. We want to guide students to enhance their global mindsets by offering international business courses and, of course, developing cross-cultural competencies that will help them eventually in using those skills in a diverse workplace. To give you an idea in numbers, we had over 700 Mays students go abroad in the 2018 to 19 year. And our international business courses and education abroad programs, there's so much more than just learning a new language or understanding or being exposed to new cultures, but also about getting a much deeper understanding of how businesses operate worldwide. Another things that we pride ourselves in is the fact that we're one of 15 centers for international business education and research in the country, the only one in Texas. And it really speaks volumes to the kinds of faculty and students that we have here and being part of that movement to promote international understanding and competitiveness. Some important facts to keep in mind about our SIBS programs: all of our international business classes are taught in English, even when you go abroad. And they also offer course credit that can apply towards your degree requirements. So it doesn't put you behind in graduation in any way. You also don't necessarily have to be a junior or senior. We have programs that are available as early as your freshman year and programs that are in varying lengths. So you could go for just 1 week, and we have programs where you can go for an entire academic year. It's also a myth to say that all study abroad programs are not affordable. There are a lot of scholarships, both merit-based and need-based, and financial aid and grants that are available specific to study abroad programs. So SIBS is also here to help you find the resources that you need to be able to participate. This is a summary of the kind of international programs that we offer through SIBS. And we'll talk a little bit more about each of these faculty-led and field trips as well. So faculty-led programs and field trips are group programs. These programs consist of guest lectures from local business schools. You'll go on company and corporate visits. You might meet with local business owners, local entrepreneurs, and of course the fun cultural excursions as well. And for SIBS, they're offered either 2 weeks over the winter break, 2 weeks in the Maymester, or you can go for a month long during one of the summer sessions as well. And the faculty-led and field trips are great for students who don't necessarily want to plan the itinerary, don't want to deal with the group flight, and you have your peers and your professor to go with. So this is a list of all the faculty-led programs and field trips that we offered this past year. You can see that they're all over the world. In addition, it covers a lot of different kinds of business topics. So if you're interested in international finance, you might pick a program versus accounting or entrepreneurship or just general business environment in places like Africa and Asia. You'd be able to find a program that you would be interested in. Okay, so we're gonna switch gears a little bit and talk about semester exchanges. So this is one where you go to one of our partner schools and you enroll in enroll in a full-time course load and take business classes. You can choose from 47 different universities. That's across 27 different countries. And out of the 47, 34 of them are Mays exchanges, meaning that they're specific partners to business schools. So you'll be able to choose a full-time course load of a class that you need for a degree requirement here, such as you could take corporate finance in Italy, and it counts towards your corporate finance degree, or sorry, your corporate finance course requirement here. Like I said, you can go for a whole semester either in the fall or spring. And a great thing about the semester exchange program is that you pay regular A&M tuition. So whether you're studying abroad in Europe, Asia, South America, or you're studying in College Station for a semester, tuition is going to be the same. So if you do end up pursuing a study abroad throughout your time here in Mays, I'd highly recommend you to pursue the certificate in international business. It is transcripted when you graduate, and it shows that you put time into, of course, taking the international business courses, but showing the cross-cultural competencies that you have because of the experience the international experience that's required for these certificates. So you've got the coursework part, but also the component of actually going abroad and experiencing that overseas. We have a general international business certificate as well as European Union business or Latin American business if you're interested more in a specific region. So now that I've given you kind of a gist of what programs CIVS has to offer, I want to hand the mic over to Sophia and have her tell you a little bit about her abroad experience.
Yes, thanks, Natsuki. So like I said, I'm Sophia, and I spent a semester abroad in Argentina the spring of my sophomore year. So these are just some fun pictures that I took while I was over there. So I went to Argentina through a third-party affiliate called International Studies Abroad, and this is another option in addition to the semester exchange that CIVS offers. So I was actually the only A&M student there, and I got to take classes with a bunch of other American students. So my classes were actually towards my Spanish degree. I was able to take a break from business classes for a semester and come back and still be on track to graduate on time with the rest of my business classes. So this top left picture is a picture of my host family that I stayed with. That was a really cool thing that I thought just really allowed me to immerse myself in the Argentine culture with semester exchanges, how you're able to live with a family if that's what you choose. And I still keep in touch with them. So that was a great way to just really get to know local people in Argentina, which I loved. We also got the opportunity to travel as much as we wanted around the country and see a lot of really cool, amazing sights and nature. That's a picture of me in Patagonia, actually. In the southernmost point in Argentina, and then the waterfalls with a group of friends that I went to see. So really just the independence of spending a semester abroad, you get to see a lot of really cool things, learn the local language, learn local customs were really cool. Also got to go to a soccer game, which is really popular down in South America. So that's a picture of my friend and I there. And then this big picture is my paragliding instructor. So I got to go paragliding off the mountains, just really cool experiences that you don't get to have in America that often. And academically, I really got to learn a lot that I wouldn't have necessarily learned in a classroom at A&M. But overall, this experience was phenomenal, a treasured experience that I still hold dear to my heart, wish I could go back soon. And I really encourage everyone to study abroad and study abroad for a semester because it was amazing. I will say one of my favorite parts was being able to, like I said, immerse myself in the local culture and volunteer with a local church where I got to make friends that were from all over South America. And like I said, just really invest in the culture there. So that's all I have for my time in Argentina. And now I'm going to pass it on to Macy to talk about her experiences.
Thanks, Sophia. So on the opposite side, during my time at A&M, I've never felt like I could bear to be away for a whole semester, and just for whatever reasons. And so I really found great value personally in the faculty-led programs, and then most recently the Global Business Brigades program. And so after my freshman year, I went on the Belgium study abroad for 2 weeks, where we consulted local startups in 2 cities in Belgium. And then my sophomore year, I spent 5 weeks in France. And so doing a 2-week program versus a 5-week program was really unique, because in the 2-week program, it was just a bit more abbreviated. We were there for a specific purpose and a little bit of sightseeing. And then on the 5-week program, we actually had an A&M professor that was teaching us classes, as well as someone who is based locally in Strasbourg that taught us about the European Union. And since we were there for 5 weeks, we really got the time to get to know one another, get to see the city, and then also travel a little bit more. And so even though it wasn't a full semester, being able to invest in the culture and the area, it was still a little bit longer, which I really appreciated. I loved the 2-week program, but it was also really cool to do the 5-week program. And then most recently, I went on a brigade with Global Business Brigades, which is a nonprofit organization that focuses on bringing prosperity to rural economies. And this is specifically in Panama. And so we spent 5 days working with small business owners and the community banks, and advising them on just small things that they could do to improve and get more traction on their businesses and in their banks, which was a really cool experience. It was very different than my previous 2 ones, but I really loved it, and I really hope I'll be able to go back before I graduate.
Thanks so much, Macy and Sophia, for sharing those experiences. And thank you all for listening to our presentation from the Center for International Business Studies. We hope, whether you consider a program through us or any other education abroad program, that you certainly pursue it. For SIBS, we're located in the Wayner building, but we're also reachable by phone or email at any time, and we're on social media at MAYSIBS. And we hope that you enjoy the rest of your time at the Education Abroad Fair. Thank you. All right, thanks, Karan, for sharing that video. Again, for those of you that missed at the beginning, my name is Natsuki. I'm the Assistant Program Director at the Center for International Business Studies. We don't have Sophia and Macy from the presentation here with us, but we do have 3 other student ambassadors. So I'll let them introduce themselves briefly, their name, their major, and obviously where you all went for your international experience. Aaron, do you want to start us off?
Sure thing. Hi, everyone. My name is Aaron Hawley. I am a senior MIS major, and I did a semester abroad in Barcelona for my international experience.
And Bryce?
Hi, everyone. My name is Bryce Boyd. I'm a senior finance major, and I have international experience going to South Africa and China.
And lastly, we have Purwa.
Hi, everyone. My name is Purwa Basir. I'm a senior supply chain management major for my international experience. I did a 2-week study abroad to South Africa and a semester exchange in Vienna, Austria.
So we're going to go ahead and open the floor to you all. Does anybody have any questions? You're welcome to just unmute yourselves and ask, or if you prefer to use the chat box, you're welcome to do that as well. Anybody want to start us off with a question?
I have a question. Can you hear me?
Kind of. Go ahead and try and say it.
Okay, I'll try to speak clearly. My question is on the exchange website or whatever, it has like suggested majors for each semester exchange or whatever. I'll be like, oh, it's just major MIS or accounting. How strict are those like suggested suggestions? Like if I was like a management major, I wanted to go to, a certain place that was only suggested for MIS majors? Like, how would that work?
Okay, so if I heard the question correctly, on our semester exchange website, there's a column for suggested majors. And the question is, how strict is that, you know, based on what major you are? Aaron or Purwood, you want to answer that?
Yeah, I can take that one. So like I said, I'm an MIS major, which is one of the majors that typically travels a little bit less. And the university I went to, I didn't take a single MIS course. It wasn't one of the recommended ones, but I was able to knock out a lot of the like CBK, the core business knowledge classes, as well as some of the required classes for the SIB certificate. So it does kind of depend on where you are in your degree plan. If all you have left in your major or are your major courses, then you'll probably want to go to one of those universities. But otherwise, it's not really an issue if it's not one of the recommended majors for that university.
Anything to add to that, Purwa?
Yeah, for sure. So for me, one of the biggest determinants of where I was going to go abroad was if it was the class that they offered, it was going to work towards my degree plan. I found that in Vienna. I will say that it's also a really good time to use either international elective or general electives. You really want to have a little bit more free time and get a little bit insight on different classes with really interesting topics. But for me, I found that I knocked out a CBK. I also had a supply chain course that I got there, but it does vary. So I was originally offered in Nice. And I realized that if I went there, it probably wouldn't work towards my degree and the way that I wanted it to. So all of my credits transferred back to Vienna, and that's what I went there.
Perfect, great question. Hopefully that answered your question, Robert. Anybody else have any questions?
I kind of had a question on like figuring out what programs offer you credit for your courses. So I'm a senior accounting major and I'm doing the accounting energy certificate, and I wanted to do the study abroad environmental resources class, and then do like another CBK of international coursework in like the May semester.
So do any of the ambassadors feel comfortable answering that one? Okay, well, I will take that question. It's really gonna depend on what classes that you have left. For all of our faculty-led programs and field trips, the associated course number is already fixed. You can't necessarily change the course number for a program. So as an example, you know, doing the global entrepreneurship faculty-led program, that's already fixed as management 457. Or doing the France business program, that's fixed as finance 445. So if you're especially for those in this room that are seniors, you know, depending on what you have left in your degree plan, that might limit what programs that you're able to do. For what like Aaron and Purwa were just talking about in terms of being able to choose which classes in your degree plan that apply, will be really mainly for those that have the opportunity to do a whole semester exchange. But like Purwa mentioned, everybody, if you're a May student here, every single May student has to have international electives to fulfill their degree. So if you still have that saved up, or for those, you know, lower level business students in here that haven't taken them yet and you're considering study abroad, save them. Don't take them on campus. Save your international electives for your study abroad course. Hopefully that answered your question, Logan.
Yeah, it helped, but like, so where would I go kind of more in detail to figure out what, you know, trips offer what classes that I could take to cover?
Gotcha. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. Go ahead and finish your question.
Oh, no, you're good. I just didn't know if like they're online, because I try to find them online, or like, you know, where else I could go.
Yeah, if it's a Maze program, it's going to be on the SIBS website. I can link that in here. If it's not a Maze course, like I think you mentioned an environmental resource study abroad or something like that, if it's not within Mays, it will be, you'd have to find that either through the college that study abroad program is offered through, or the main study abroad portal. I don't know if you all have searched around the study abroad portal, but also a great place where you can search by country, you can search by what area, academic area, you can search by term. So that's also a good place to start. If after all that you're still not sure where to find those course numbers, that can also be a one-on-one advising kind of appointment, because we offer advising at SIBS, where we can really sit down and look at your degree plan and figure out which programs would be best for you.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yes, go ahead, Jesse.
I was wondering, what's the plan with like the current situation with COVID and everything? Has the university said anything, or what does that kind of look like?
Great question. So as of now, all programs that depart until or on or before January 19th are canceled. And then they will make a decision about spring break and spring trips by November 1. And I believe they'll make a decision about Maymester and summer trips by January. So in terms of summer programs, we will be recruiting students during this semester, and we'll be transparent with you about timelines in terms of when the university is going to make a decision about whether these programs are a go or not, as well as payment timelines as well.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, go ahead.
I was wondering if you can go into more detail about the scholarships and grants to travel.
Yes. Who wants to take that question about scholarships and financial aid?
I can take that one.
All right, go ahead.
So there are a variety of scholarships available. There is a study abroad scholarship application that you can fill out, which will let you apply for a variety of different grants and opportunities, which can help fund your study abroad. I believe the spring one is also out now, so you can start applying for that now if you're looking for opportunities coming up in the spring.
Do you know what website I can find that?
I can link it. Anybody else want to add something about scholarships or financial aid?
I think for me, that was pretty much the same thing that I did with the reciprocal exchange program. The really big benefit to that is that you're still paying the same tuition that you would if you stayed at A&M. So I was still using the same, I got my refund that I normally do, and I used that when I was abroad, as well as applying to the university scholarship and applying under the study abroad one. And then also I believe SIBS has a scholarship as well that I also applied for and received. So those are my funds for the 5 months that I was abroad.
Does anybody else have a question? Stephen, I noticed that you're unmuted. I wasn't sure if you were trying to ask something. Okay, maybe not. I'm going to mute him. Anybody else have a question?
Yes, I have a question about sort of the shorter abroad programs, whether it's like the summer exchanges or the winter exchanges, and if those 3 credits done within that program are completed within the couple weeks you are abroad, or if that's done the following semester in College Station.
Yeah, Bryce, I'll let you answer that, because Bryce did the 2-week winter South Africa program and got 3 credit hours for that.
Yes, so for that one, we didn't actually have to do, our assignment while we were there was just to keep a journal. And then when we got back from the trip, we made a video about our experience with a partner. And then leading up to the experience, we have pre-departure meetings, which is the only thing. So it's kind of, in a way, it spans a little bit of stuff happens before you go with the pre-departure meetings, because we met, I think, about 4 times before on Sundays. And then after, we just had to submit our project, but it's not usually a lot of work you have to do while you're actually abroad for the shorter ones. But that can vary a little bit for different shorter ones, because sometimes you'll do your final presentation in your last day abroad, or you'll do it when you get back, just depending on the professor.
Okay, so you would not have to take an actual extra course here at A&M after you complete that program?
No, you don't. You're registered for the course, and it usually comes for the semester after you're there. So then I went in the winter, and then I was registered for the Southern Africa business class in the spring, but the work for the class I'd already done.
Got it. Okay, thank you.
That's a great question. That's definitely an upside to the winter programs that like Bryce did, because it's part of your spring semester tuition and your spring semester course load. So if you have a fixed tuition, it doesn't cost you extra for that 3 credit hours. All right, so I know we're approaching on that 1:30 time, so I think we can answer one more question. All right, well, then I will go ahead and end this. Aaron, Bryce, and Purwa, thank you for helping answer questions. And again, if you, after this call, realize that you still have questions or you just want to chat more on your individual experience or what you're looking for based on your academics and your aspirations for going abroad, you're welcome to reach out to us at SIBS through my email. I can put that in the chat box, or to our general email at sibs@mace.tamu.edu. Thank you for joining us, and enjoy the rest of the Education Abroad Fair.
Thank you.